Do you think that Malik Willis is the answer for the future? Hey guys, welcome back to Little Big Opinions. I'm Big.
And I'm Little.
And as always, we have producer Mark on the ones and twos.
What's up, boys?
Folks, before we get into today's show, hit that like and subscribe button, like this video, but most importantly, subscribe to Little Big Opinions channel for all your Dolphins content, all your Miami sports needs. And today we're going to get into it. We're going to talk a little bit about the Dolphins. We're going to talk a little about the Hurricanes. We're going to talk a little bit about the World Cup. And then we're going to do some more of those hot takes because last week we had freezing cold hot takes. But most importantly, we have a special guest by the name of Rick Sarille on the pod today. We're so excited to have you, sir. How you doing? I heard this has been in the works.
It's been in the works. Thank you guys for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, thanks for coming, but this has definitely been in the works for quite some time.
Yeah, years.
I'm so excited, and I know I've always tell everybody when you come in that like you're a Hall of Famer for Gulliver, Gulliver football, Hall of Famer for Wagner College. Mm-hmm. And I just learned last week that you're also a Hall of Famer at the NEC, which is the conference.
Northeast Conference. Correct.
Northeast Conference, dude. I didn't know I knew you were a legend, but I didn't know you're that much.
Three-time. I'm very honored to be in all of those.
Yeah,
very
that's
high
crazy.
prestige.
Do you get a blue jacket, a green jacket, and what's the NEC color jacket?
NEC has yet to ship me a jacket, but we gotta call them and see what's up.
We'll clip this and we'll definitely. So running back?
I played running back in college, and I also played both ways in high school. And yes, please.
I mean, we got to talk about some of these stats, by the way, because we're at the pre-show. We're just talking to Rick. I just meet him, and then I see he says Hall of Fame for Gulliver. So then I look him up, but then I look up some of these stats in Wagner College. Okay, first of all, you have 7 records to this day.
I believe so.
When did you graduate? You graduated in 1999.
99 was my final season, class of 2000.
I mean, 27 years holding up is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Chris, how many rushing yards in a 4-year span do you think this gentleman
You
has?
started all 4 years?
I started 3 of my 4 years.
You're going to put me on the spot here like
Yeah.
this? I'm going to say 2,500.
All right, 5,290 yards.
Wow.
Yeah.
55 touchdowns, all-purpose yards. 7,300 all-purpose yards.
They put me back there to return kicks, so yeah, I got some extra yards.
Were you Devin Hester before Devin Hester?
I wish I can hold the candle to Devin Hester, but I did my thing a little bit. A lot of holes were opened up for me. A lot of alleys. I had some great teammates, great linemen, and it was fun.
The only person I knew that played for Wagner College before you was Gus Duquesne. Was the other.
An absolute legend.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're a Belen grad. We actually, on my team, we had some guys from Belen. I was trying to recruit as many Miami guys as I could up to New York, up to Staten Island where Wagner is. So we had 2 Belen guys that actually roomed with me, class of 96. Shout out to Louis McMillan and Oliver Benitez. Yeah.
Nice.
And we're Raider country here. My kids go. Well, sorry, I just doxed myself.
There
I just
you
doxed
go.
myself. Never mind. We like Gulliver around here. Okay, go Raiders. Go Raiders.
Yeah, so growing up, I mean, obviously at Gulliver, one of our biggest rivals was Belen. So I hated the guys that came to Wagner, but you got to give them credit. They're great players, great people inside and out. So there's a lot of love for the South Florida community, South Florida guys.
I mean, I'm married a Gulliver alum, so
so it's all in the family.
It's all in the family here. We all got Gulliver ties, so that's great. But every time I talk about Rick somewhere, everybody knows who Rick is. So and if it goes to yesterday, I'm at Father's Day, and Brittany's cousin Brandon, Lazy Oyster, go check it out. Says Rick Yaya. So I was like, Rick Sarille is gonna be on the show tomorrow, but tell us about Yaya. What's Yaya?
Well, to start off with Brandon, my friend, my cousin was celebrating his birthday as well as Father's Day, and he had some great oysters. I have a restaurant called Yaya on 79th Street on the Causeway on the Waterway. Asked him if he had been. We started striking up a conversation, talking about his oysters, and how he shucks them and how everything, the process of everything, and how they're doing over there at Gramps. And we just started hitting it off and talking for a while. It's a small world that you ran into him later in the night.
It's It is a tiny world, especially if you know Rick Sarille, because everybody knows Rick
Miami's
Sarille.
a very small place.
It sure is. Yeah. What type of food are they serving at this joint?
Mediterranean. So it's a lot of local catches, a lot of fresh fish, Mediterranean throughout. You know, we don't want to pigeon ourselves with just Greek food, but we have from Turkey, we have a lot of different dishes.
Yum. We're going to have to go check that out.
Which our grilled oysters are phenomenal as well.
Ooh.
All right, we got to go out there.
Yeah, we got to do a little taste test.
Maybe do a show out there.
Oh, on the water with the background. You guys are invited whenever you want.
Oh, love it to hear it.
Yeah.
Speaking of love to hear, the training camp dates are out. Okay, this is Rick. Are you a Dolphins fan?
I'm a big Dolphin fan, unfortunately, dating back to the Shula and the Marino era.
Yeah, that's why the Big Don is always here.
The Don.
Right in front of us because we pay homage to him. But July 21st, Rookies Report. July 28th, Veterans Report. It's almost here. We got the World Cup, and then right after you got training camp. It's a good time to be a Dolphins fan because we've always talked about it. There's hope, right? So real quick, what are your thoughts going into this season? Just in a nutshell.
Yeah, well, anytime you have change in an offseason and such drastic change with changing the head coach, bringing in new coordinators, they're kind of cleaning house, right? So a lot of the guys who are on the roster are at full attention to be like, hey, they have to reprove themselves all over again. So it puts everybody on alert and gets everybody, sharper than they were last year. No job is secure, so everybody elevates their performance.
Yeah, so we had a guest on last week, and he was kind of wanted to know why we were so excited for Hafley and Sully. You've also texted me on the side like, hey, it's just talk. So are you not as excited about the two guys or what?
I'm more of the show me what you guys can do. Obviously, I think they come from a more of a blue collar mindset. They're not so Hollywood as what our previous administration, our previous staff was a little more laid back, kind of hands off, laissez-faire, let them do what they want and let the pros play. There's different styles, and a lot of times the team takes on the style of the coach. So you want a leader that's because someone's going to be stern, someone's who's going to lead your team and have that personality come out on the field. So if it's a hard-nosed coach, that's going to portray onto the field with, from practice, from behind the scenes, from meetings, everything, how you operate a whole program.
Are you excited or not?
I'm excited, but I don't think it's a short-term play. I think this is a long-term play. Hopefully, within down the road, it's going to take a rebuild. As well as Malik does, you got to put the right pieces around him. So you can't just judge us based off what we do this year. You got to build something. We got to continue to grow. We got to get more draft picks. We got to put a team around him, put a defense around him, and feature HN. Who knows, if he's going to have another breakout season.
So as a fellow running back, okay,
yeah.
Is there a specific zone scheme or anything that you specifically ran that you preferred? And what do you see from – because this running scheme is going to be kind of similar to what McDaniel has because they all come from the same tree. Can you talk about what your favorite thing was run in?
Well, I can say that I ran a multiple I. I was the I back in a different era where you pounded the ball a lot more. The running backs were a lot larger. We're talking the Mike Allstott era. And it was a lot of different runs, for the first 3 years of my college experience, we did I-back, and then we started doing some more zone reads, some more single-back stuff. And a player like A-Chain, who's quick, fast, has great speed, not only at the angle of pursuit, but he can also cut back on somebody. It's something that he likes to have, or our running back should have that option to kind of go left or right. Even listening to Ricky Williams when he was playing with us, he had an interview recently with John Gruden. He said his favorite play was counter, and he would cut the counter back into the A gap, and you could see a majority of his scores were like 70% of his scores were from that same play.
Yeah, we're huge Ricky fans. But I would say that it's funny that you bring up the I formation because apparently A-Chan's best formation is out of the I form, but I don't think we have a fullback on the team right now.
We got rid of Ingold.
Ingold's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
I'm not sure.
He's with the Chargers now.
I'm not sure if anyone is going to be in that position, so it's kind of interesting to see what they're going to do there.
Maybe they use Will Kekmerick, the tight end from Ohio State.
He's going to play tight end.
Oh, maybe a little H-back or something like that. I don't know.
I think it's a lot of creativity. With last year with Mike McDaniel, we used a lot of formation changes. We a lot of motion, a lot of misdirection. So I think you look at what Green Bay has done as well, and you kind of take what they've been doing and see how we're going to adapt our players to fit into that scheme. So something similar along those lines to put him in the right position. I mean, when you're a player like A-Chain is, you're going to get yours.
Yeah.
You know?
Playing with a mobile quarterback, what does that change in the eyes of a running back? When you know that the leader of your team can extend plays and things of that nature, what are you looking at in that type of point of view?
Yeah, I think it helps. It helps big time. You don't have to take on the full pressure on your own shoulders. You have a player that's also able to make plays, also able to run on the fly. He's going to stay in his pocket. He's going to run his reads, but as well, he's athletic enough to pick up first downs and keep the chains moving. And at the end of the day, that's what you ask for.
Yeah, possess the ball longer. I don't think we had many rushing attempts. Locked On this week was talking about that, about how, yes, we were running team, but we didn't actually run the ball a lot, like as far as carries, and we didn't possess the ball a lot. So I think we saw what you could do in New England, right? If you run the ball and play smart football, and not that I want to be like New England, but I think that's kind of where we're going at.
I think you need an identity as an offense. You need to know, okay, if it's 3rd and 2, what are we doing? And be able to rest on those laurels of saying like, hey, we have strong middle interior linemen. We're going to run behind them. We have strong tackles. We're going to, do a 3-game quick game.
Do we have strong tackles?
Yeah, I think Jackson.
Come on, baby.
Yeah, we have a good line. It's not as much of a question mark as years past. Injuries are always a part. I know 3 years ago with Mike McDaniels, we had a great offensive team. We had record setting, and then I think week 13 or 14, a couple of our guys started to get injured, and you're only as good as your backups in this league, and you only have about 52-man roster, so it's difficult.
Great point. With Connor Williams going down that year, that was a huge loss for that team on the front. Now, going into this training camp, what would you guys say is one of the biggest question marks for this franchise? What would you say right now? What position battle? What are you looking at right now?
I mean, there's 2 glaring ones, but I'm going to say wide receiver first. That's my call.
And why?
Oh, sorry. Well, we don't have a true wide receiver. We don't have a true guy that's going to go out there. Malik Washington's our number 1 at the moment, and I think he's a great player, but I don't think he's a true number 1. So he's a slot guy more than playing out on the boundary. So who's going to play on the boundary? Caleb Douglas will get there, but apparently he's hurt too. He's already a tall, lanky guy. That's gonna be a risk already in the season. He's already starting off in training camp a little bit injured. I don't think we have enough playmakers, so it's gonna be easy to put everybody in the box. And I don't know if A-Chain is gonna be as effective. And then we're gonna say, oh, our running game's not good, but we're not really gonna know.
I agree. I think there's definitely a challenge there. You have guys that need to step up and guys who haven't been proven yet. Who's going to be the playmaker you have to look at. There is going to be a target on A-Chain's back. So I think the defense will stack up against them, and somebody in receiver needs to step up. You look at it on paper, and you look at the talent that we had in the wide receiver position. Even after Tyreek got hit, we still had Waddle. We still had a lot of guys getting open and doing theirs. Now you have to question what the receivers, if we're looking at the receiving core, is he going to step up? Is Tutu Atwell going to step up? When are we going to get back Chris, the guy we got from
Chris Bell?
Chris Bell, when is he going to be ready? So, the wide receiver core is something that I don't think should burden so much of the load, but we need to be a more well-balanced offense.
Right.
And keep things,
and we don't have that right now going into the season, and that's a concern for our offense, which is our strength. But to your point, I'm happy that they have an identity, which is we're going to run the ball first. We'll see. Deebo Samuel's out there. Maybe we go get him.
Interesting. My biggest question mark is Bowie Slowick. That's who I really want to see. Yes, the offensive
That's
coordinator.
Interesting.
I mean, he doesn't have a lot to deal with. He doesn't have a lot to, in prior years, what we had in the wide receiver room and all the talent around this football team at the tight end position and the running backs. this year, it's going to be very interesting to see with a mobile quarterback, what does he play to play into the strengths of Malik Willis? That's what I'm very interested to see.
Well, the only thing
it's got to be creative.
The only thing I will say is his first year was very successful, right? And the league catches up on you a bit. So maybe that's the question mark, which I agree with you. But it's not like they've been any better since he's been gone. So maybe it wasn't all him. Maybe there is something there in Houston. And they had 3 receivers toward the receiver point at that moment that weren't very good and had huge years that first year. Tank Dell and Nico Collins. And so maybe there's something to be excited. So I'm not as big as that. The one that I think that we really should bring up is secondary. I mean, who's going to play safety? Who's going to play corner?
CB2.
You got Chris Johnson, and then who else?
Just all the multitude of people that they picked up in free agency. Some, Jason Marshall, Storm Duck, who's always hurt, has to get on the field. I think he's a candidate potentially to get, axed quickly. But the second safety is my question. I think Dante Trader, we've talked about him. We like his growth around here. The second safety is who I'm very interested to know who's going to fill that role.
Yeah.
Yeah, plus it's such a pass-happy league now that you have to have great nickels as well. That could be a starting corner. So someone's got to emerge, and the team's got to come together. Obviously, the chemistry needs to be through the roof as well, but I think these guys are going to be fighting for every position, every rep, and make the most of it.
So we're in World Cup timeline. Tartan Army. Wow, I was going with it. The Scots. They've taken over Miami. They're in the Miami Marlins game right now. They're going to be at Wednesday taking on Brazil at Hard Rock Stadium. But what is it about Tartan Army that they're incredible? It's the chants, All these fan bases around the world, they have chants, they have songs. The Cubans, we're Cuban. Are you Hispanic?
I'm Cuban.
You're
I'm
Cuban.
American.
Cubans, we're like songbirds of the islands. We know what we just sing beautifully. Amapola.
That sounded Italian.
Yeah, we need to come up with a chant, Rick, and we are season ticket goers. And what we need to do is before we get to this year, first game, week 3, we need to come up with a chant. Okay, so I'm calling out all of our listeners, all of our followers. We're going to go out. I'm going to bring in my children who like to chant and stuff like that. Cheerleaders. We need to come up with a chant that's catchy, but that brings that Miami vibe to it.
I agree.
That's a chant.
I agree. I think the beauty of the World Cup is you see so many different cultures. You see not only the Scots coming in town and doing their chants, but every country has their fans, and they come. And I've been to the Fan Fest in Bayfront Park, which is incredible because you're watching a multitude of games in different cultures, and everybody's kind of mingling. Everybody's eating different foods, but everybody's getting along, and people are chanting during the matches, and people are doing cheers to other fans in front of them, whether they speak English, Spanish, or whatever language or religion they're following. It brings people together. As far as Miami, I'm part of the American Outlaws, which is the USA supporters group. And I think one of the biggest knocks on the U.S., and we don't get enough credit for, is how weak our chants are. I think we've kind of created a lot of the old school chants, and we steal a lot of chants from different cultures rather than bringing them up and creating something of our own to take control of. And before our first game, we actually did a walk from the Freedom Tower to the Leinster, which is a bar that opened up in downtown. And we're doing all the chants, and just me and a few other guys, we started ripping off some 2 Live Crew and kind of trying to make it like a USA chant. So yeah, it's something that you need to get creative with. We need to start our own. We need to start something new. And who knows how far the U.S. goes if we do create those chants and have the whole stadium, cheering on the U.S.
The stadiums, the atmosphere of these games has looked palpable.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be kind of empty because we went at the Club World Cup, which I know isn't as big, of course, but there are some big names and teams. They were empty. The people didn't go to those games.
Yeah, I think the media was trying to paint a picture of ticket prices being soaring, but this is a World Cup. This is something that's bigger than any Super Bowl could imagine. And you see where the Super Bowl prices of those tickets are going. You see the highest sought-after ticket in the group stage of the World Cup is here in Miami with Colombia versus Portugal. which is coming up this Saturday. But yeah, all these games are going to be full, whether it be a high marquee team or a lower team. People are traveling from all over the world to be at these matches.
Yeah. Let's hold off on the World Cup for a second. Let's go back to Dolphins.
Yeah.
I have a question for both of you. I don't think Ryan's heard this. We haven't talked about Malik Willis yet. We're going to get to your opinion, but we'll get a specific question. But this one I want you guys. Would you rather? This is from I saw this on Twitter, and I want to give him his credit. So #1 Finn fan, Elite Marino at Elite Marino is his thing. What would you rather?
Marino elite or
Elite Marino? Yeah, he's elite.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Would you rather Miami Dolphins go 6-11? Willis has 3,700 combined yards, 26 touchdowns, 9 picks, and number 9th pick overall in the draft. Or would you rather have the Miami Dolphins go 2-15? Willis starts half the season before getting hurt/benched, 1,900 yards, 12 TDs, 8 interceptions, but the first overall pick.
I'm going to go with the 6-11. It's a lot more promising. Obviously, we know we're going to have some growing pains, but for him to do well as a starting quarterback and staying healthy, I think is the biggest thing there, and show promise for the future of the franchise.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to go complete opposite here. I want us to tank. I want us to go 2-15, get the #1 overall pick, find somebody that you think could be your future. You gave, hopefully in this, scenario, we gave Willis the full complement of him going out there and showing what he's got. But I think we've just been so mediocre in that 6 to 9 to 10 win frame for so long that we just need to suck and suck bad.
But it's so funny that you're taking this take right now because for the whole offseason, you haven't done this at all.
Well, except for when we did the very early wins and losses, I went 3-14.
Yeah, but you were being realistic there. But
I'm being realistic now.
Why did you celebrate Malik Willis signing? We shouldn't sign him if you wanted just the first pick. That was easy enough when you could have taken.
I wanted to see what Malik Willis has. I mean, this opportunity. If Malik Willis has an incredible year and you're 6-11, then that means that it was the rest of the roster, right? So you would think.
Yeah, we just talked about it.
But
the receivers, the secondary, there's no corner two.
Do you think that Malik Willis is the answer for the future?
As of right now, if you ask me today, I would say no. I don't think that he is. But am I hopeful that he could be? Yes. And if we're 6-11, he has those stats, I would say we have the guy.
Yeah. And then you would
better
think
than
that
anything coming out next.
Potentially, yes. They're also saying that this could be one of the better draft classes for QB in years.
We heard that last year.
And the QBs have been pretty incredible, have they not? Caleb Williams.
I'd agree. I think there's a certain percentage of players that are going to make an impact immediately. I also think the quarterback position is a position you need to be developed more. So not necessarily look at Fernando in Las Vegas. He's not guaranteed to start either. You're bringing Kirk Cousins to kind of bring him along and mentor him and show him how to be a professional and study and learn the game. There's a significant difference from the college level to the pro level, and it's studying and having time of your own where you're not necessarily in meetings every day with coaches. You have to do stuff on your own. So I think there's a maturity level and a development level that Malik Willis will be able to do better having that experience already. So I think it's time for him to take over reins and show what he can, and hopefully we get to see that this year.
Yeah, Mark, I think we have so guys, remember, if you guys want to call in, you can give us a call. You can ask us questions. You can tell us how bad we are. You can tell whatever you want. So we have another call in today. Mark, play that for us. And it's a question, I believe. All right, no. He's not ready, so we can look at the number.
The number is 786-763-2844. Call and leave a message about the Fins or anything else on the show.
Here we go. Here's a question.
Hey, wanted to get your opinion on.
Oh, and I don't know why it's breaking up here. Should be playing.
Hey, wanted to get your guys' opinion on Malik Willis. What will it take for us to understand if he got for the future be our guy moving forward, or how bad does he have to for us to decide we do something else, draft or sign another.
He said, how bad does he have to stink for us to decide whether we should draft someone else or sign another free agent? Love the show.
It's kind of exactly the question you just asked, right? Like, how bad does the record have to be for you to move on from this gentleman? It's a 2-year contract, right?
Yeah, I think I think the would you rather was a perfect example there. Like if he's benched at any point, we obviously know he's not. But what I'd ask, I don't know.
The hard thing is, I agree totally with what you were saying, that we have significantly forgotten about the amount, how important it is for a quarterback to develop. And all the best quarterbacks didn't come in and start right away. And the one that did, he had a pretty bad first year, obviously Peyton Manning, but then his career went where it went. But we don't develop quarterbacks anymore, and I think that's a big problem. And that's what I'm excited with Malik, is he's been behind guys already for a while now. He's played different offenses, being the practice squad guy. He understands how to change, what he's supposed to do. So hopefully that should be able to come in and have success here. But I do kind of still feel, although I'm the hopeful guy here, I still feel the 5 or 6 wins is going to be where we're at. And I don't know what that does for us. It kind of keeps us in the same exact spot. If we win 6 if we get 6 wins, but he looks decent, are we still happy, or is?
Yeah, it doesn't, though, because that means we hit on other guys, right? We hit on the rookies that we drafted. It means the direction was going in the right way. It means we hit on the coach. We win 2. I want to keep saying it. We win 2 games. I'm questioning the coach as much as I'm questioning Malik Willis, and then I'm going to question the first round pick and this and that, and we're going to be in just a bad spot. I don't think that we're better off if Flores won 5 games with a worse team, way worse. They got rid of everything of talent. They didn't have any building blocks that they decided that they were going to pick. If these guys decided we're going to keep guys, some older guys, we're going to add to the roster, we're going to get rid of people who don't fit the culture, and we're going to sign a quarterback, if they only win 2 games, I'm going to have a funeral at the end of the year.
Yeah, it all depends on what happens. We have to see the dynamics of what makes them win only 2 games. Obviously, injuries play into it.
That doesn't make a fun podcast.
I understand, but this is not a fun team to follow.
No, it's
Rick,
not fun.
It's not fun.
But you talk about training camp, and I think a lot is going to happen before we'll see anything on the field. It's chemistry. It's team language. It's coaches getting together. It's a new coaching staff dealing with new players. How are those guys going to come together? Are they speaking the same language? Are they understanding concepts? All this stuff that Malik is bringing from Green Bay and all his experience that he's bringing, is he able to show that to his teammates? So it's a growth that we're not seeing. It's a lot behind I would say, not on the field. We see behind closed doors. We can't see all that stuff. So that's a big thing, and that's where this team needs to put their best foot forward, and we'll see it on the field. Now, injuries are part of the game. All that stuff can come into play. I'm sure we'll know by mid-season if we have guys that fight. I just want to see a team that fights, a team that's willing to put their neck on the line every game, and you could tell it means something to them, because you don't really see that in the pro game anymore, which is why college football is I think you still have that.
Well, we'll get to college football. Okay. We'll speak about the injuries really quick. Apparently, at the end of the training camp, we had Zach Sealer injured, Caleb Douglas injured, Jameer Slayer, which is one of the guys going for that right guard position, and of course, Devon Achane is still injured. So,
right. So that's another thing we look at. We have a great backfield. Not only Devon Achane, we have some good backups there as well. I want to see how they're going to work that in so he doesn't get overcarried and doesn't get the nicks and bruises and has to sit out a few games. It's good for him to split carries and not take on the whole bulk of our offense. So we have to have good balance and incorporate our backups.
Yeah, we're big fans of Wright and Ollie Gordon around these parts. I think one of the better running back rooms in all of the NFL. This is what
very very underestimated as well.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a nice hot take.
Yeah, it is a hot take. But what's not a hot take? Speaking of injured and accidents, Or speaking of injuries, have you been injured in a car accident? Call Ralph Sanchez Law at 786-899-4500. Free consultation. Hit up Ralph and his team over there who are the best in the business. No fees unless they win, and they win. They win a lot. They're not like the Miami Dolphins. RalphSanchezLaw.com. They're there for you. Again, visit 786-899-4500, RalphSanchezLaw.com. Okay.
You know what I always think about when you say best in the business? Entourage.
The best in the
when,
business.
when they talk about
Rufus.
Rufus
At Home Video Solutions. Yeah.
He's the best in the business.
Now, speaking of best in the business, let's talk a little bit about the Canes, okay? The Canes are the best in the business. And we got a long-time Hurricanes fan in our presence today. Somebody that grew up playing against some of these players, I'm guessing, right? Knows some of these, knows the fabric of what it makes of what is Miami football. How long have you, so first of all, how do you feel now that the Canes went to the national championship game? It looks like Mario and the team are going in the right direction. How does it feel from all those years that we've dealt with?
No, it's night and day. I mean, in Mario we trust now, right? We've seen all his work come to fruition. We're still not there. We're still not at the top. We're still not where they want to be and where we want to be as a community. But that college football playoff run was something like no other. Yeah, it was. I experienced our 80s runs where we were either playing for a national championship or winning a national championship consecutive years, back to back to back to back. And we changed the landscape of college football. Now, are we there? I want to say we're definitely a lot better than we were previously. And that's, a lot of hard work. That's the community getting behind us. And it's a lot more difficult now. You're not just playing a bowl game. You're playing 4 bowl games in a row to get to the mountaintop. And how historical it was this past year. So you just have to take that in and really enjoy it. A lot of people are saying, hey, we're back and we're expecting to be better next year. And they're expecting us to make the national championship a game. Listen, it's a difficult road. It's not that easy. It's a game of inches. One thing could go wrong. Are we in the right place? Are we competing for that stuff? Absolutely, and that's where we want to be.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you travel to all the playoff games?
I did. I made it to all the games.
Wow.
Which was the
Texas A&M, Dallas, Phoenix. And
which was the best experience out of those?
So the first experience in College Station was incredible. 100,000 plus, all screaming fans, and us 1,000 or 2,000, however many of us Canes fans were there, were loudest of all of them. And I thought nothing could top that win at the end. Interception happened right in front of us. So that whole game was incredible. The experience, the college fans from College Station are incredible.
Let me ask you one thing. Let me stop you. Sorry.
Yeah.
What's up with the gig'em thing with Texas A&M? Well, what is that? These male cheerleaders or what? What's going on there?
I
Those are
will
two different
say
things,
that,
though.
but the gig'em and the whole culture of everybody, it was one of the nicest fan bases from walking in with families. It was we took a Sprinter and we parked in front of the stadium. It was very kind of homey, very rural. And everybody welcomes you onto their lot. Everybody welcomes you on to have a drink and enjoy the whole experience. And during the game, they get a little upset, but they are still extremely polite.
Okay, that's cool.
Yes, they were. So the whole gig'em thing is, I would say, a little overrated. I would say that they're known for their 100,000 plus fans there, and everybody screaming. But the atmosphere wasn't as electric as an Orange Bowl atmosphere was.
That you would think with 100,000 people at Kyle Field.
Yeah. So as much as they chanted, I would say the Hurricanes fans chanted a lot louder, a lot stronger, a lot harder.
It's New Year's Eve. You're at Jerry's World. It's the Cotton Bowl. And the pick six happens. What are you doing?
Well, I personally jumped up in my seat, stood on the railing, and before he even took it all the way to the house, my hands were up. It was something that was monumental. It was one of the best experiences ever.
The meniscus held up?
The meniscus held up.
There you go. The physical therapy, the best in the
therapist
business.
right there.
Just making sure.
So I thought nothing could get better than that college station experience. and Jerry's World was another level. That stadium is very grandiose. It's got a professional feel, but it was rocking. And you had a lot more Canes fans at this particular game. And our fans came, and they came to really mess stuff up. They came to really show out, and so did the players. That pick six was something that'll go down in the memory books forever.
When you speak of these Canes fans, I know it perfectly. We went for years, season ticket holders, all the tailgates. But this gentleman behind the ones and twos is one of those Canes fans that it just brings it out of him, and that I can see how 1,000 people at Kyle Field can make a little bit of a difference when you got people like this gentleman just going absolutely crazy for their football team.
I look back at the games. I stopped my season tickets in 2020 for life reasons, but I used to scream and smack the back of the chair, right? Like, and just be like, obscenities, cursing, saying they're going, Mark, kids are here, saying, don't bring your kids here. That's not an appropriate place to bring a kid if you don't want to hear this, because this is what's happening. The guy right next to me is doing it as well. I can't believe how much I used to do that. But that's what the Canes do to me, man. They just take it out of me,
Of course, it's called maturity. I think we all have mental lapses when we're at the game, and we all want to be the number one Canes fans and the number one supporters. And a lot of times we've had mental illness because of what the Canes have done to us. But Mario has done a lot to change that, not only on the field, but as well as administration around the team, taking our staff to another level, running it like very professional. Making sure the kids' cultures is being preserved and elevating that culture.
Yeah, we're very excited. We got one of our own behind the helm. We're Canes all the way on this podcast. But I think we got a little. You want to talk a little bit more about the Canes offseason, or you want to do the water break?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you. So obviously last year we had a great defense. We lost two first-round defensive ends. We lost Malino as well, which we all wanted to hear on the pod. I think that was our number one draft pick that we didn't get. So how do you replace that? Like, how can you? To your point, people were saying like, "Oh, they're nasty. They'll be back." It's so hard to get there. It's not that easy. But if it is, what are you excited about that they've done so far, and what are you concerned about?
Yeah, without a doubt. Now, I think, listen, it's very difficult to get back to the mountaintop. It's very difficult to be considered a national championship contender year in and year out. I think with our recruiting, it all starts with recruiting. All starts with the blue chip players that we get in. We have the number one recruit across the board, Jackson Cantwell, who's a tackle and is definitely going to be a force to be reckoned with. But you look at what the linemen that we lost are. You look at guys that had started for 3 and 4 years. So that's chemistry. That's like learning the player next to you, what he's going to do without even speaking. That's a lot of little intricacies that on the football field you gain with experience, you gain over time, you gain over being next to that person. You're not only fighting, blood, sweat, and tears throughout summer, throughout fall camp, throughout the whole year, but when you can't hear the play next to you and you don't know the player, you don't know the blitz picking up, you tap your buddy on the side. That's the trenches, those guys, it's a lot of unwritten nuances part of the game that you pick up over the years. So I think we will have our growing pains. I don't think everything will be easy. You look at last year, we lost a lot of games as well. We got complacent in a few games. You look at the year before and when our offense was firing on all cylinders and our defense was kind of out there looking like a chicken with their head cut off. They didn't know what they were doing. So I think it starts from the top. It starts from recruiting. It starts from the coaches getting these players right, which is very important, and then the players stepping up into those roles. You got to have leadership roles as well, and we'll see what type of player Mensah is. Obviously, he had a phenomenal season last year with Duke, and you got to see his leadership qualities, how he's able to communicate, what he's able to tell these guys in the huddle, what he's able to tell these guys on and off the field. You look at Mark Fletcher, who's almost like put my head down and work. So he's going to do stuff, based off actions. I don't think he's a big leader as far as vocally, but you just have to look. Yeah, you have to look at that guy and see how hard he's running, and that's going to make you want to elevate your play. So The drop off on talent, I don't think that's something we need to worry about. I think it's just experience of these guys playing and going through the growing pains and learning from each other and unifying as a team.
That was great. But I'm going to make you answer a question.
Okay.
Have they done enough to win the ACC championship this year, which they didn't do last year? Is that an expectation, and are they going to do it?
I think it definitely has to be an expectation, not only for the community, but as in that locker room, those guys haven't won it yet. They haven't won it in the history of.
Right,
so
ever.
I think last year was a taste of it, and this year, they have to come back with a chip on their shoulder. So I think losing the national championship game will allow them to come back and be hungry and be more fierce.
So will they win the ACC championship game?
I'm going to put it on record. Yes, I think we will.
All right.
The schedule is far easier this year to begin the season, right? You're gonna get your feet wet. I think you get tested in the middle of the year. Obviously, anything can happen at any given week, but middle of the year is when you start when you play Notre Dame. Yeah, exactly. So it's about the complacency. We've always had that. Everyone knows as a Canes fan dealing with the ACC and those bonehead losses. I mean, it happens. It's a different landscape now in college football. You can lose at least one game potentially, maybe two.
They lost 2 last year.
But knowing that you have national championship aspirations, you have to win the ACC. You have to start with the ACC.
Well, the trap with the ACC is definitely, and we have to face it a lot, is those random day games, those Friday night games, those Thursday night games. Those historically, whether it's against Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, whatever, we have just been abysmal on days that aren't Saturday, and that's what they need to do because I think they have 3 this year. The first one, Stanford
they have a couple
is Friday.
Friday games.
So, and that's a big ACC thing, right? Because they're trying to be on national TV in front of a lot of people. So that's just something that we're going to have to deal with. They're going to have to figure it out. And, hopefully we're going to have to start off strong. Stanford is on Friday. So
is it away?
It is away in Stanford on Friday. First game
we
of
start
season.
the season in Palo Alto. But you look at it, and from a standpoint of these guys, I don't think they should try to be perfect. I think they have to go out there and play and have fun. At the end of the day, that's what we're doing, and what these kids are doing is if they're having fun and they're growing, they're going to want to kick someone's butt. There's a lot more fun that's had on game day than practice. Back when the Canes were the Canes, their toughest scrimmages were practice sessions against each other. So, the games should be fun. So that's try not to go out there and be too perfect and let the game come to you and enjoy it.
Well, you know what else is fun? A staycation. Okay. And it might not be a staycation for you because you spent plenty of time in Key Biscayne, but KeysLifeVacations.com. You can go out there, use LBO, and you can go stay at the Ritz in Key Biscayne. It's beautiful. I always tell you guys to go see our boy Gino at the bar. Rick, do you have any other suggestions to do while you're at the Key?
Gino at the Dunes is top notch. You can also see Alex inside at the bar there. It's an incredible vibe.
Yeah.
Inside like the lobby bar?
Yeah, inside the lobby
Yeah,
bar.
that lobby bar is fantastic. It's so much fun. We were there for March Madness, and it was a blast.
Yeah, they have TVs up. The rum bar really, Alex really gets it. Gets it.
Oh, now we got another name.
Yeah.
Oh, has Gino reached out? Have you spoken to Gino since you've been?
There's no chance that he knows that I've been talking
You've
about
been
it for
prepping like this guy for a good month now.
I've sent so many people to him, and I've never gotten, hey, that guy didn't hook it up or anything like that ever. So
Gino is
fantastic.
a Key Biscayne legend. He's been working at the Tiki Bar since the Sonesta days.
Okay.
A lot of the MLB teams stay at the Ritz, and Gino takes care of them. They come back. They have stories for Gino for years.
Oh man.
you gotta go out there.
And if you have a birthday, go see Gino.
Yeah, I mean, wow, this
You gotta go, dude.
everything that he's been saying. Yeah, well, we have to find out what happens.
He was
on the
there for his
birthday.
birthday and didn't say.
Well,
I told him.
I wasn't
You
with
gotta say it's your
anybody.
birthday.
I was there by myself, so I didn't want to be like the one guy there. I mean, it was a packed house.
Yeah, Gino would have been singing for you.
Yeah,
He would have got everybody singing for you.
Yeah, it's,
Next year.
Que pena. Yeah, exactly.
You have to go back.
I have to have my wife next to me. Okay, it's World Cup time. I got a fever, and it's World Cup time. The America is showing out. It's beautiful. It's beautiful how well this tournament, knock on wood, has gone thus far. It's been fantastic. I think all the American cities, the 9 host cities, have welcomed all these people and just showing, like you said, their culture, what they're doing, and showing the passion that these are real. It's beautiful from one fan to another to witness these people for the love of their football teams. I mean, their football teams.
We could say soccer.
Yeah, we can say soccer.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, we could say soccer.
The British coined the term soccer.
Oh, okay. Did
Yeah,
they really?
yeah.
Oh, I did not
The
know
British
that.
FA.
Now, the U.S. is they're onto the elimination. They've got
clinched.
6 points. It's over in their group, nonetheless.
No, they have one more game, but they've advanced.
Correct.
First place in
And
the group.
the next game, there's nothing to play for, essentially. Now, do you play? There's 4 guys on yellow cards. I think Balogun, other guys. Do you play them or do you sit them? What do you do? What would you guys do if you're Poch?
The guest goes to go first, but I do have a take on this. So
No, I think you play conservative. Obviously, not a lot of people know as fans that we're going to take probably the foot off the accelerator. But I think we've shown a lot how the team plays. I think you want to stay with the same strategy, but probably put some other pieces in that piece to see who's going to step up and who's a good backup.
yeah, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but they've come out to such hot starts that it definitely seems the first half plays differently than the second half. So I would like to see some of these pieces play in that same role. I think the 4 yellow cards should absolutely sit, and if Pulisic has any sort of soreness or whatever, obviously sit out. But the U.S. has never won all 3 games in group stage, and I think it's time to go out there and do everything that you've set out to do and try to win that 3rd game. You know, Turkey hasn't played well. They were supposed to be the ones that are challenging to win the group. They're not there. Go finish a job. Go 3-0. Make history. And this is the beginning of the history. And I'm going to keep saying it. This is the best team in the world until you prove me otherwise. Woo! They are playing absolutely phenomenal. And Team USA all the way.
They got everyone behind them. I mean, you have to that emotional feeling with playing on your soul, makes a difference. You cannot tell me this is a passionate sport. It's gonna make a difference for this football team, for this soccer team. Yep. Sorry.
Yeah, no, they came out aggressive. Their first match was very impressive. I don't think anybody really knew what to expect. We didn't have a great qualifying. We didn't have to qualify, so we played a lot of friendly matches that I think had probably a quarter, if not, well, maybe 75% of the team was our current team. So there was a lot of guys that didn't play. Pulisic didn't play in any of the friendly matches. So this team is a team that was ready to come out here and ready to put it on somebody. And they played very well together. The scheme that they played is very aggressive. You could see they were attacking. They were moving the ball well. They were spacing well. It's also the group stage, so the challenges will only get tougher from here. I'm not so concerned about them going 3-0 in the group stage round. They're still scheduled to play July 1st as the first place coming out of their group. They've done well. I want them to continue gaining that experience with each other, putting maybe some other pieces and see how those fit together. And again, we have a very deep team. We have a lot of good players that have come off the bench. You look at Reina came in and scored late in the first game there. Against Australia, we were a little, I think we went away from our strengths in the second half, but yeah, it's momentum. And by all means, playing on home soil makes a world of difference. They're playing against their home fans. They're playing, for the pride of the country, and it's good that they got off to a good start because now everybody is kind of behind them.
Yeah,
so that's just
definitely.
propelling them to another level and holding them, a lot more accountable.
So since this is a American football podcast, and we're talking about soccer now,
right?
Who would you say this Team USA is related to as an NFL team from last year? Like who would you say they are?
Oh, good question. I hope not, but I would say the Chargers are a good one, or the LA Rams.
So you got to pick one.
I would say the LA Rams.
Okay, it's the better one to be a part
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
I mean, you go to the divisional round, and I mean, we'll take that. Divisional round, I would think, is what, like top 8, final 8? We'll take that in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
Anybody that would have said that in the first time in its 48 team.
But Ryan, I said it. We're the
infancy.
best team in the world until we're proven otherwise.
Well, there's
okay?
one guy that would maybe argue with you, and that's the reigning World Cup champion, Argentina, and Lionel Messi, who today scored another 2 goals.
Unreal.
That's 5
And
in 2 games,
It
folks.
could have been a hat
He
trick.
could have been.
today,
He missed a penalty.
Yeah.
He scored 2, and the easiest one he missed. He's
He is
unbelievable.
He's a
unbelievable.
magician. He's a magician. He's magic out on the pitch. I don't know. He just finds the open spaces. It's like they're not covering him. He's the best player in the world.
Yeah.
And he finds spaces. And not only that, on the second goal that he made, he assisted, which should have been a goal that got
He missed,
deflected,
yeah.
and he came in and just put it in. He's magical.
Now, there's another gentleman who had a hat trick last World Cup final, Kylian Mbappe.
Nasty.
France, 3-0. They just beat Iraq today, 3-0. He's got another 2 goals today. And then you got Erling Haaland, who is coming now, who's going to be playing tonight. Those Norwegian fans are absolutely sick. Those Norwegian fans. The stars are showing out in this World Cup too, and it's just the show of all shows. Everyone always said it. It's bigger than any Super Bowl and things of that nature. 7 games here at Hard Rock Stadium, who I think are putting on a phenomenal event for all these ongoers. It's 7 Super Bowls. It's so much fun. I'm bought into it, and let's see how far these guys go. Now, you said you're going to the Brazil-Scotland
I'm
game.
going to the Brazil-Scotland game on Wednesday. And when I first heard the Scotland team, I was like, that's not going to be that good. I was like, I got to see Brazil. And now with the Tartan Army, and they're at Marlins Park creating a ruckus, I don't think Marlins Park knows what to do.
Ticket prices went from the minimal ticket to an average Marlins game is about $8 to $12.
Yeah.
$2.
Right, but it's $50 a minimum ticket
Awesome.
sale was today when I checked
Awesome.
for tickets.
You think they bought enough beer? Because the
I hope
Marlins
so.
have known to run out for concessions.
Yeah, we didn't go to the game because we had you coming.
Oh, well, I mean, we could have done a podcast over there. We could have arranged something,
Well, we can meet them up at Ball and Chain after, or wherever they're going to go.
I
They're
was
gonna
on
keep
Cayocho
partying.
last night, and they were actually at Casatiki, the Dead Flamingo pop-up. They were
Okay.
starting to get there. I saw a lot of the Scots there on Cayocho in our little Havana area.
And
Wearing kilts?
Sadiki is a friend of the pod, by the way. Great bar out there.
Oh!
Anyone check it out.
Well,
Dead
Nice.
Flamingo is taking over. Those guys are doing it. Yes. They're
Awesome.
doing really well.
Were they wearing kilts?
They were wearing kilts.
with their bagpipes.
Inspirational. They were wearing kilts with the jerseys, so it's their uniform.
These guys,
It's
dude.
amazing.
Makes me want to buy a kilt.
Yeah.
Well, you expect them to go to the games and be like that. I've never seen this before. Maybe I haven't paid attention enough, but like all these fans taking over the Times Square and Fenway Park and now Marlins Park. The Brazilians were on the beach as they
that was
normally
sick.
do.
That was sick.
As they
Yeah.
normally do. It's so much fun. But back to give us, since you brought up Argentina and France, who would you compare them to in the NFL?
Yeah, France right now is on another level. France is playing with the speed, confidence. They have finishers. They're playing aggressive. You have to keep in mind these teams are playing together for the first time, so they're only going to get better throughout the tournament.
So that's why U.S. is the best team in the world. But keep going.
I would compare them. You got to say France are the Patriots right now.
The Patriots of old or the Patriots of last year?
Right now.
I'm not going to go Tom Brady. I'm going to go of right now because
Of overrated me?
Well, Patriots went to the Super Bowl last year. They were
Yeah, we forget about that.
right.
He's
So
overrated.
but
Almost had
the
MVP year.
last World Cup, they were right there. That game could have gone either way, and that was probably the best World Cup final I've ever
So you're
watched
saying
in my life.
Mbappe is overrated?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Nah.
Mbappe is the real
Yeah,
one.
I
He
think
is
he's
the truth.
He's the next
so-
guy.
he's so good.
He's the next guy.
And then who else you say? Argentina. Who do we got?
Well, Argentina, I mean, yeah, they compete. They're the reigning champions. You can't take the crown away from Messi yet. He's the man. He's sitting on the throne.
The Chiefs,
The
maybe.
Chiefs.
He's probably
Yeah, of
Mahomes,
course.
always there. Now, if you had to pick somebody that's going to win the World Cup, who are you picking?
I'm picking France to win
You're
it this
picking
year.
France. Yeah. I'm a huge France guy. I loved Antoine Griezmann for years. That was my guy. I still like France, but he's not on the team anymore. But you know, great pick. I like that pick. Now, we started something last podcast. it was took us by storm. We want every single guest to come on here, Rick. We asked them to give us a sports hot take. Now, we say sports hot take, but you can give us any hot take, whatever you want. And we kind of want to debate it on the fly. And we'll tell you if we agree or not. This guy said the hottest take of all hottest takes last week, and there's a beeping noise, and I think that's trying to delete what he did last week. So, Rick, do you have a hot take?
Okay, hot take here. Let me think. What is a hot take? What? Given the circumstances of soccer right now, I'd say the MLS is probably a better league than anybody gives credit for.
Okay, but you got to give us a league. Like, who are they above right now? Because just saying that is not really giving us a hot take. Like,
Right, but we can compare it to, for example, we want to go really hot take.
Yeah,
We go Serie A, which in Italy,
I was thinking the same thing.
and the Italian haven't qualified for the World Cup in quite some time.
Yeah.
And you got to look at the development of the players internally. So,
Yeah, I was thinking Serie A. I disagree with you. I just want to be clear. I already said a hot take last week. I'm not going back down that road. It's the most miserable week of my life.
what, your Marino hot take?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, why everybody was coming at you?
Yeah, of course.
What did you say again?
I don't remember.
Oh,
He
okay.
compared him to Phillip Rivers. I heard that one.
Thanks, Rick. Thanks for that.
So you think the MLS right now is better than Serie A?
Wow.
I think it's definitely on the rise. Its trajectory is upwards, as where Serie A is kind of stagnant. Yes.
You know, I would love for MLS to be that league, but they're just not. I don't think they put the same amount of development in their actual players or youth. I think it was Donovan who made the mention, which I think is a great point, is that everyone's always moving. They're always moving the best players up, right? And then the best coaches for the best players. So there is no development for the younger guys. It costs so much money for them to play. I don't think that they're ever going to do what it takes as a federation to bring in the best talent of youth and actually develop an identity and an actual system. Like, we don't even have a style of play.
No, I to be fair, I think what you're looking at is the U.S. system compared to MLS. So the development, what you're seeing now, and a lot of the players coming up now, they got brought up through an academy, which is fairly new.
MLS Next, no?
It's part of MLS, but each MLS team, for example, our Inter Miami team has a team of youth. They have kids that they take out of school, and they're giving them a full academy that they're training at. So the development in MLS is a lot different than you would have in any other sports or in Europe per se, if we're going to compare apples to apples, where these kids are playing in academies from a very young age. That's something that has just been developed in the MLS the last decade. So now you're starting to see those kids, and you're starting to see them really develop because they're playing for longer hours. I think growing up in the U.S., a lot of kids are raised to think that they want to be college sports, play sports in college and get a scholarship and get a good education and, go play pro if you're good enough. In soccer, you have to be at that level at a much younger
18,
age.
yeah.
So what you're seeing now is these kids getting developed earlier. You're seeing a lot of these kids going to play top tier talent in Europe now, and then we're bringing them back to the U.S. team. So eventually that's going to improve the MLS. That's going to improve competition. It's going to improve competition at a younger age. And another thing that the MLS is taking notice, and the world is taking notice, of scheduling. So now they've changed the schedule for the next season. They're going to be on par with what every other world soccer.
Okay.
Thank God.
That is
I've
the
been
first time ever. And that affects so many things from FIFA match days that compares to like open dates where you can transfer players. To be on the same schedule as the world is very important. And I think MLS is starting to say like, okay, hey, we need to be on the same level and we can develop enough talent. And eventually I think the talent will be at the MLS level. Right now it's it's not there. That's why it was such a hot take. But I think it's definitely growing, and the trajectory is going in that direction.
Well, that'll be good. But as long as the best kids go play in Europe, so then that means MLS is not going to stay good.
No, but I mean, those guys could go play in Europe. For example, Inter Miami, we loaned player Kremashi, who's Key Biscayne kid, who was part of Inter, and then got on loan, and then the team took him and won his bought out his contract. So you'll start to see that, and then eventually those kids will want to stay here, and those kids will, kind of become the league instead of coming at like a Messi who came here at 36 years old, towards the end of his career. Those guys should start to come here and stay here, and then you never know.
Yeah, it seems like that some of these stars are coming a little earlier and earlier now, right? We're getting more and more players that are deciding to, instead of going to a lesser league in Europe, they're just coming here or playing for a really bad team in Europe in a top league, which is interesting. So, yeah, it's a great take.
Yeah
I like it.
Maybe the World Cup showcases what America can do for soccer, right? We have places like Miami now that we have a budding franchise that now has a brand new stadium, world renowned. You can follow in the footsteps of Messi. Little by little, these older gentlemen are coming on and playing over here. But I think soccer, we've seen it in our generation, right? Like when we were young, soccer wasn't as big as it is now. And every 4 years, you see the World Cup and you see how crazy it is. I think the MLS, little by little, is catching up to the world.
So
that.
Do you agree with him?
I don't know enough, but I'm going to say yes because his jawline, I'll agree with anything with this guy.
All right, cool.
You look at the difference of what the World Cup last time we hosted in '94 compared to what it is now. It's a world of difference. From commercial partners to exposure to television to media. These guys are superstars, and if you see those players as a youth, you aspire to be these players.
Exactly.
So you can ask a player who his favorite team is, and they might not say Inter Miami, but you ask a kid who his favorite player is, and they're saying Messi 9 times out of 10.
Right. Oh,
so it's these guys that they see now on television, and they see these characters, and they see these, personajes, coming out, and these are the guys that these kids want to be and they aspire to be. So that's important.
Awesome. And you did work for FIFA, right?
I worked for CONCACAF, which is the
CONCACAF.
confederation
Cool.
of within FIFA. It's a confederation of North America, Central America, and the Caribbean.
Any noteworthy stories from there? Or?
Oh, I have a lot of stories from there. I don't think we can. We have enough time or enough footage.
So that means we'll have to bring you on.
No, when we go to Yaya. When we go to Yaya.
You'll come on and we'll talk about.
We got to invite you to Yaya. Absolutely, we'll talk about that stuff. Maybe bring on some other people to give their color commentary.
Now, the crazy thing is, speaking of World Cup fever, is whatever restaurant you walk into right now, there are TVs everywhere with the World Cup. Does Yaya have TVs for the World Cup?
Yaya has 4 98-inch television screens.
Wow.
With a backdrop. It's got everything. We have a chef that's catering to each featured game of the day. So we're showing all the games throughout the day, from day to night. We're doing some entertainment. Some DJs come in. It's a vibe. It's definitely
what's funny
cool.
is I tried to get him to put a TV for the Dolphin game so we could do a podcast, and he said no.
The twist in my arm. I wanted all the Canes games. We couldn't get any Canes games, but for the World Cup, we are doing it. And it's true. You'll see everybody trying to showcase this tournament. That's how big it is. And you look at a lot of the criticism of the host cities, and people are saying, "Oh, you put the city at such a stress," but it brings millions to the. It brings millions to the area, and you don't even notice. For example, the Marlins game. I mean, the ticket sales for Marlins game for this game, because the Scots were going and tickets shot up, and now everybody wants to go because it's a thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think about all those people with the parking outside, los viejitos. I mean, it's a random Monday.
$20 no blocking.
Yeah, exactly. Like the OB games. So it's brought an influx of just so much. It's an economic driver and hundreds of millions of dollars potentially all throughout the country, obviously billions, but it's just very interesting what it was a big deal to get the bid and win the bid, and to put on those things like the host committees, the FIFA Fan Fest, which, like you said, if you haven't gone out there yet, it is a great time, especially all kids of ages. It's a huge party, and it's a month long. a month long.
Super interactive. They have fan zones. They have a cool area. They have a fountain there, so you get a cool breeze as well. It is hot during the day,
It
but
is.
but you could cool off close by. It's a fun time.
Yeah, you just pick up a beer or a Coke
Yeah.
Zero. Yeah. All right, sir. It's been the utmost pleasure. We would love to have you back on. We would love to go check out Yaya.
Yeah, next one at Yaya.
We'll definitely do that for sure. If you want to go, first of all, go check out Yaya. Thank you to Rick. Like and subscribe. Little Big Opinions, our YouTube channel as well. We're going to be giving away our Jason Taylor jersey in the next few minutes as well. We'll do that separately. But thank you guys. And Chris, take us home.
Don't forget to also like and subscribe 786 Sports. Okay, sayonara, suckers.